1 year later, family members find strength through faith as they remember the victims of a shooting rampage. Good evening, I'm Nalina Shapiro. It's a somber anniversary of a very dark day in Buffalo. 4 young lives ended in a violent attack outside City Grill on Main Street. 4 others were hurt. News 4's Rachel Kingston joins us from the newsroom with the latest.
The families, detectives, prosecutors, and others gathered at True Bethel Baptist Church to mark the first anniversary of the City Grill shootings. Emotions there ran the gamut, from sadness for the loss to joy for how the community came together in the wake of the tragedy.
We must forgive, but we will never forget.
The whole purpose of this gathering was not to forget. Not to forget the tragedy of 1 year ago when Ricardo McCrae shot 8 people on Main Street outside the City Grill, killing 4 of them.
I do forgive McCrae. For some reason, my heart couldn't hate him, although I tried to make myself. But for some reason, my heart couldn't hate him, and I do forgive him.
And not to forget the bonds that the horrible events of that day forged between prosecutors, the victims' families, police detectives, and community leaders, people who otherwise may never have crossed paths.
I think by the end of this case, it's fair to say that Jim and Mary Beth and Sharon actually became adopted by several families from the city of Buffalo, under tragic circumstances, of course, but they did such a great job.
But the air of somber remembrance was punctuated by a joyful note. The entire crowd rose to its feet and cheered as Demario Vaz, the victim who is still hospitalized at ECMC and is only semi-responsive, was brought in a wheelchair, his entire family at his side. Most importantly, the families want all of Buffalo not to forget that last August 14th was a wake-up call to our community.
We need more peace. We need to stick together as a community. If you see something, please speak upon it, because that's the only way things are going to be solved. And we need to give more love and help one another.
Sedita and Mayor Byron Brown spoke today of how the City Grill shootings have changed the dynamic in this community, fostering greater cooperation between witnesses, the police, elected officials, and religious leaders. As for Demario Vaz, his mother tells me her #1 goal is to be able to bring him home for good by Thanksgiving. Live in the newsroom, Rachel Kingston, News 4 at 6.